I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting on March 6, 2025, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter.
Here.
Clerk Simsky. Here. Trustee Barry.
Here.
Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero.
Here.
Trustee Scales.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager May.
Here.
And Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here.
Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. First item is open forum. We do not have anybody here for open forum, so I will close open forum and move on to reports. I have a short report. Restaurant Week, we want to thank the Westmont Chamber for organizing this successful event with 32 participating restaurants. The results of voting for dining favorites will be announced at the Westmont Community Awards Dinner on April 14th at our Hilton Hotel. And I turn to Clerk Simsky.
Thank you, Mayor. Just reminder about in-person early voting. Begins Monday, March 17th for the April 1st consolidated election. More information can be found on both the Village of Westmont and the DuPage County website.
Well, thank you. And we'll move to Trustee Johanna Guzzo for Fire Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We did have a Fire Public Safety Committee meeting right before this meeting, and we discussed our options for our fire department headquarters station, possibly looking to remodel what we have, options of adding on or new construction. There will be another meeting scheduled in the future. When we have a date exactly, are we okay to? Yeah, March 27th, we will have a special Fire Public Safety Committee meeting, 4:30 or 6, do we know yet?
Well, it's why I was hesitating when you were asking. We were
Okay.
instructed to set that up, so we'll,
Okay.
identify it when we get
Thank
to
you.
it.
The village website will have information on a future Public Fire Safety Committee meeting. And then Citizens Fire Academy, there's still time to sign up at on the village website. Classes begin April 1st. I also want to remind everyone, the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry starts this Friday. It's from 5 to 8 p.m., 25 North Cass Avenue. Come out. It's a great night, and you'll get to see many, many residents and support our Knights of Columbus. And then one more thing, it is spring forward. Do not forget to change those smoke detector batteries and your CO detector batteries when you spring forward with your clocks. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee had a meeting on Monday evening. We had a guest speaker from the Conservation Foundation, and he did an excellent job talking to us about the difference he makes in, badly landscaped areas or lawns, and then revitalizing that into native plants and something that is, absolutely beautiful and an asset for our pollinators. So that was a very good meeting. 2025 recycling and more dates have been set, and this first event is April 5th from 8 to noon out here in the commuter lot, and the info for that is on the village website, so please check that. Some of the items, there is a small charge to that, but it's a good way to reuse things instead of throwing them in the landfill. The EIC, again, the EIC has guest speakers lined up for the next several months, and on April 7th, we'll have another speaker on native plants, and on May 5th, we'll have a presentation about solar power. So if you're interested in any of those, and we certainly invite the public to attend, those are over at the library, and there's plenty of room there to bring in the public for those meetings. And then this year we did an upgrade or a change to our, it's like NOMO 2.0. It's a new program. It's branded differently. It's called Protect Our Pollinators Program. And what it does, it takes the NOMO, which gives more, potentially more lawn surface there for the pollinators that are coming out early in the spring. And this Protect Our Pollinator program is encouraging you to take part of your land, part of your lawn, and turn that into pollinator plants. Pollinator-friendly plants, put it that way, not pollinator plants, but pollinator-friendly plants. But there's more information on that on the village website, and it's, we're excited about that. The participation, as you know, is very good, and village staff is very good about implementing that. So look at those guidelines, follow those, and sign up today. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Little, Administration and Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Our next Administration Finance Committee meeting will be April the 3rd, 4:30, right here in Village Hall. The Jig and Swig Pub Crawl, which is sponsored by Westmont Special Events, will be March the 15th. One route is already sold out, but one route is still open for sign-up, so please visit westmontevents.com website to sign up and join the pub crawl. Also, we have spring window murals. Businesses are invited to sign up to have their windows painted by a local artist for the spring. Visit westmontevents.com for more information. That's all I have. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And we'll go to Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things tonight. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is March 20th, right here at Village Hall, 4:30. Don't forget, you can still sign up for those tree seedling giveaways. You can sign up and select which seedling you want. Then you can pick it up on Arbor Day, April 25th, 1 to 5 p.m. at the library. Don't forget about Adopt a Planner. That online sign-up has begun. You can visit our website to sign up today. And we just published an updated construction updates throughout the village. It's on our website, so please check it out if you have any questions on projects maybe in your neighborhood. A lot of good information there. Last but not least, I know I shared this with a couple board members and the mayor. I just wanted to let the board know on this Tuesday, we had a county stormwater meeting, and there was 8 total grants. Westmont had 3 applications in, all 3 approved. North Adams Street's detention basin, 3927 North Lincoln, 328 South Wilmette detention, total of about $35,000 in grants, which is about 25% of all those projects. And that's great. I mean, you know, they kind of make some jokes because the most of them are always in Westmont, and I love it. So good job to Amy and staff. Keep doing those applications. We're just continue working it because those are great projects, a lot of improvements, and it's exactly what it's for. And I know it's a lot of work to do those applications, so we appreciate it, Amy. Thank you. And that's all I have, sir.
Well, and thank you for serving on that. That helps too, serving in the Stormwater Committee. Trustee Barry, Police Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next meeting will be June 12th, but the police department does have a paper shred event, and this helps to fund the Special Olympics. This event will be on April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon. There's more information on the website, and you can get it there. And then for our former Clerk Jenny Shimsky, I am supposed to remind everyone to set their clocks ahead this weekend, okay? So I did my duty, so.
Thank you. And Trustee Scales, Community Development Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The next Community Development Committee meeting is scheduled for April 17th. The Planning and Zoning Commission March 12th meeting has been canceled due to a lack of items for the agenda, but there will be some special meetings to be announced soon regarding the zoning ordinance update, and those meetings will welcome public input into the update of the zoning code, which has not been done comprehensively in 46 years. The code will be streamlined, modernized, and made more user-friendly, including the approval process. Online permitting as the construction season is getting underway. Some of those permits can be done online and avoid the need to visit Village Hall, and that can be done by visiting the permitting division webpage and follow the link to the Civic Access portal. The village recently posted a news release on the website about the requirement to call Julie before you dig for any type of project. So certainly recommended. Those projects that require digging may need a village permit. Information can be found on the village's website. And for any sports fans, the Westmont High School girls b-ball team just won their 2nd regional championship, one more year, and that's a dynasty. So,
When do they play again?
well, they're done next year.
Okay, next year.
Next
All
year.
right, well, they won, so congratulations.
Indeed.
Moving on, The agenda, consent agenda. Does any board member want any item to be removed? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Thank you, Mayor. Very short this evening. Consent agenda begins with Village Board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the Village Board meeting held February 20th, 2025. It's followed by Finance Ordinance Number 5 in the amount of $1,496,221.46. Next are purchase orders. There are two that are called out. One is EMS Management and Consultants, $72,000. And this is an open purchase order encumbering that amount for the annual monthly EMS billing charges. And the next purchase order is DuPage County, $45,842.01. Is DuPage Integrated Justice Information System Records Management. It's an annual fee, and this is also a simultaneous payment, so that amount is in the finance ordinance, so that's the total. So that's it.
That's it.
That's the entire consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve is read. Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made in second. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, rezoning 4108 North Grant Street. Board to consider ordinance approving request from K4K LLC for the property at 4108 North Grant Street, Westmont, Illinois, for the following. One, a map amendment request to rezone from B2 General Business District to R3 Single Family Detached Residence District. And two, a zoning ordinance variance request to reduce the minimum required access easement width. Director Hennerfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So 4108 North Grant was annexed to the village in approximately 2007 by the Lincoln dealership. And the home that was there was torn down, and it was anticipated that this lot would expand the parking lot for the Lincoln dealership. At the time, we were going through revisions to the Grant Street behind there with the cul-de-sac, and then it eventually developed with Tesla, and that cul-de-sac moved. This lot was never anticipated to have any access to the residential side of Grant Street. It was always going to be part of the dealership. However, that never solidified, so then this piece of property was landlocked. It went up for sale, it's changed owners a few times, but what is before us tonight is to rezone that to R3, so single family, which is what the comprehensive plan anticipates for this property because it has access to the residential side. But it was still landlocked. The owners were able to get a 20-foot easement across the little piece of land that separates them from Grant Street, which is substandard. We require 30 feet. So there's a rezoning to make this available as a single-family lot. They do have plans to sell the lot to someone that wants to build a home on there, and there is a 20-foot wide access for them to put their driveway to connect to Grant Street. So there is a variance request for that 10-foot of difference from the 30 feet we require to the 20. I can answer any questions, and I do have the petitioners here if you'd like to bring them up.
If they'd like to come up, maybe.
Joe, before you sit, and maybe not necessarily in regard to this, but so does the village now still have the whole cul-de-sac is still annexed as far as part of the village?
Yes.
And those are buildable lots around that cul-de-sac?
I do not believe there's buildable lots. I think what happened is they eliminated the lots when Tesla expanded to the north. So for years, there were lots sitting there because they thought that townhouse development would be built further south. That never solidified. Those lots were combined with Tesla when Tesla needed a bigger parking lot. And then there is a detention pond for that parking lot. And then you get up to the townhouses on the east side. On the west side, I think there are two existing homes that get you up to the intersection there. So there are no other lots there that can be developed.
But those two existing homes are unincorporated, but the right-of-way and the pavement's all in Westmont.
The two homes in between Grant and Lincoln are are unincorporated, or the two homes
On
on
the west side of
Grant?
Grant Street.
The two on Grant are unincorporated, but now we just annexed Lincoln on, like, so behind there is now the village of Westmont and the cul-de-sac, so is it my understanding that right? That those backyards that will all be village here shortly? From Lincoln?
At some point, yes.
Yeah,
but I
from
mean, it's
Lincoln to-
unincorporated right now.
It still is at this point. Lincoln Street still is at this point. But then behind it, the Grant, and then also the ones on 41st Street are still unincorporated.
Correct.
So,
Those three townhomes are in Westmont,
oh, the townhomes are.
yes.
Okay. Not easy over there, is it, Joe?
No.
It is the conundrum of piecemealing annexations as Liberty Park properties choose to annex into the village. It is.
And then, of course, it's non-conforming,
Yes, so.
so. And again, not in regard to your guys, it's just more so for my own knowledge of what we are
It is-
incorporated and not.
This lot itself doesn't have any nonconformities to be an R3 lot, though, other than it didn't have the proper access, and that's why the variance is needed.
So then I guess long-term, if those lots aren't buildable, and we have a cul-de-sac there, I assume that that's village cul-de-sac? Like, we maintain that road, we plow it, we do everything?
Yes.
What do we think happens with that long-term?
I don't know that I can answer that, what we think happens with that, but it is a cul-de-sac that is basically serving 3 properties, is what it is. It probably would be very low traffic, because we actually have a lot of restrictions so that the dealership can't park employees back there or anything like that, so.
But at some point, if we get into rebuilding that road or something like that, we may look to retention or something else there, right? I mean, because why have a road that just is to nothing, right? And
I believe right now, the reason it's a cul-de-sac, even at its short length, is so that emergency services and garbage trucks have the ability to turn around easily, so.
off of there. Okay, thank you.
Did you want the?
If there's additional questions?
Good evening.
Your name and
I'm Vanessa Favia. I represent the seller K4K LLC, a subsidiary of Cars for Kids. It's a nonprofit organization, the owner of the lot. And we are seeking to get the variance and the rezoning approval because we do have a buyer for this lot. We've had a hard time getting it sold the way it is currently zoned, and we believe that the change will benefit the neighborhood, and it is in accordance with the comprehensive plan for Westmont. And here with me is Hisham. He's the real estate agent.
well, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Scales.
Motion been made and second to approve. Any additional comment? Anybody from the
Mayor?
audience?
Mayor?
wants- Yes.
So this question is just for Joe, right? So if we have a situation up there, right, in Cars for Kids, I'm assuming it was a donation, and we're looking to, it's a bad piece of property, to get rid of it, they donate it. They're looking to get rid of it, of course, right? So whoever purchases that and develops it, are they aware that that is non-conforming, substandard in many ways?
Well, the only non-conforming substandard piece is that access. I
That's it?
believe- Yeah, yes.
it?
So
Okay.
it is a big enough lot, it's deep enough,
Okay.
everything else fits.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody, comments from the audience? Any other trustees? If not, I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business B, award a bid proposal, residential alley, 10 North reconstruction. Board to consider ordinance awarding the bid to Everlast Blacktop Incorporated for the residential alley, 10 North reconstruction project, and authorizing a construction contract consistent with the bid documents. Director Reese.
This is the alley that is bounded between Naperville Road and Burlington Avenue, Park Street and Hudson Street. We've received 8 bids for the project, so it was a nice competitive bid environment. The low bid was from Everlast Blacktop Inc. with a low bid of $761,486.78. So this was significantly lower than the engineer's estimate. However, the bids were very tightly clustered, so we believe that all of the bids were good. The second low bidder's bid was $790,185. So this will be reconstructed with asphalt pavement, concrete edge restraint, storm sewer, and associated restoration.
And this is 3 blocks long,
Two.
2 blocks?
Well,
but
two
the one
blocks, and
block
then
is-
the T part down by Burlington.
Okay.
So this is on the north side
You
of the
were trying to
train
figure out earlier how to, like, what's the value of an alley per block?
track. Depends.
Yeah, but about 300,000.
Yeah, so the 112, which is the one by Kiwanis Park, and also this one, have a very significant drainage problem on the northerly block that is requiring a lot of storm sewer to be installed and a storm sewer tie-in to the large diameter storm sewer that's on Naperville Road, and that is a cost driver.
Thank you.
Have we used this bidder before?
No, we have not worked with this contractor in the past, but we've checked their references and they were satisfactory.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Scales.
It's been made and seconded. Comments, questions? Anybody? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business C, engineering agreement, Phase 3 construction engineering for residential alley 10 North reconstruction. Board to consider ordinance authorizing engineering services agreement with Thomas Engineering Group, LLC, for Phase 3 construction engineering services for the residential alley 10 North reconstruction project. Director Reese.
This will include construction administration, field inspection and documentation of the project, so measuring the quantities, preparing the pay estimate. And the sum of this engineering contract is $124,990.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second, Little?
Motion made in second. Comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business D, exercise of option year 2 gasoline and diesel fuel. Board to consider ordinance exercising the second option year of the gasoline and diesel fuel contract with Al Warren Oil Company Incorporated. Director Reese.
This is an option year to a contract that was a joint bid with DuPage County. So DuPage County and probably 15 or 20 other communities all participated in a large bid that was coordinated by DuPage County, and we were able to take advantage of this contract, and this is the second option year of the contract. So we're requesting amount not to exceed $300,000, and the term will be April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo?
Second, Nero.
Motion made in second. Question?
Just a comment, I think I say it every time, but is it a fair assumption to say that it's another big savings by being able to
Yes.
partner on this?
It's been significant
That's great.
savings,
That's great.
and very nice that DuPage County did all the work for the bidding and all of that, so.
That's great. Big
We'll
win.
piggyback on it.
Yeah, let them do the work.
Any additional? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business E, engineering services agreement, Park, Chicago and Willard, water main improvements. Board to consider ordinance approving an engineering agreement with Baxter and Woodman Incorporated for Phase 2 design engineering for the Park, Chicago and Willard water main improvement project. Director Reese.
The sum of this engineering contract is $107,000. This is the design phase for the 2026 water main project, so this water main project will be constructed in 2026. This is all the survey, detailed design, plan specifications, permitting, cost estimate and bidding assistance for this water main project, which will be Park Street from Naperville to Ogden, Chicago from Grant to the village limits, and Willard Place from Park to Washington.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Scales.
Motion made and second. Any comments, questions from anyone? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business F, engineering agreement, water treatment plant rehabilitation. Board to consider ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with Baxter and Woodman Incorporated for Phase 2 design engineering for the water treatment plant rehabilitation project. Director Reese.
So about a year ago, the village board approved a contract for preliminary engineering. This was some exploratory preliminary work to look at the pump sizing, look at the existing facilities that were there. We wanted to move away from gas disinfection just for safety reasons. So we were looking at, obsolete equipment, SCADA improvements. We currently have Slick 500 PLCs that are obsolete and no longer supported by Allen Bradley. All this equipment is almost all of it is original to the water treatment plant, which was built in the 70s, and some of it's even older than that. So we're trying to get rid of some of that obsolete equipment, end-of-life equipment, no longer supported, and also try to gain some operational efficiency by adding VFDs to the pumps so that we can operate them at lower speeds to match our water usage. Adding an emergency generator and transfer switch, and then miscellaneous piping valves and associated electrical improvements. This is going to be a phased project, so we want to do the disinfection improvements first, just so we can get rid of the chlorine gas. We're switching to like industrial bleach that doesn't have the same type of safety issues with it as the chlorine gas does, so the fire department will be happy about that. And then phasing in the rest of the improvements, because some of the electrical gear will have long lead time, 12 to 18 months to receive the electrical gear. So this project will be constructed over the course of 2026 and 2027, and this contract for tonight is just for engineering.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion made and second to approve. Any comments, questions from anybody? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business G, identification text amendment. Board to consider ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 2-99, identification of certain officials of the Westmont Municipal Code. Assistant Manager Parker.
So this is largely a housekeeping issue. It's just putting into our code our current practice of indemnifying employees. So if they get sued or made party to a lawsuit as a result of the work they're doing for the village, then the village is covering the cost of that lawsuit. It's pretty standard, and it's what we've been doing for years, just updating our code to reflect that.
Been approved by HR. Thumbs up. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Scales.
Motion made and second. Comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business H, employment agreement. Board to consider ordinance appointing James Gunther as village manager, improving an employment agreement with James Gunther to serve as village manager effective June 2nd, 2025. And this is my appointment. We've talked about it, and I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Scales.
Motion made in second. Comments? Anybody comments, questions? Seeing the roll call, please.
Trustee Nero?
I don't know.
Trustee
Yes.
Scales?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business I. You don't get to vote. Change of village's fiscal year. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing a change to the village's fiscal year and amending Chapter 2, Section 2, 511 of the Westmont Municipal Code to reflect such changes. Director Altig.
Thank you, Mayor. So once again, this is a kind of cleanup housekeeping item. This formal ordinance transitions or moves that village's 12-month fiscal period or budget year from starting May 1st to April 30th, and transitions it or moves it to one that is starting January 1st through December the 31st. And this is a project or discussion that has taken place, at least at committee level with the board, probably back 12, 15 more months ago. Some of the benefits to moving to this type of fiscal period provides a better match with the property tax levy and collection process. Big benefit is possibly being able to get better bids on some of the construction projects. We can bid those out when the budget's already been approved. We can bid those out in the winter when sometimes pricing can be a little better versus waiting until the new budget in May, like before. And a little more intuitive, having the calendar year and your fiscal year all in alignment. Once again, this ordinance is administratively seeks approval for what the village's staff has already kind of placed into effect already.
We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, Little?
Motion's been made in second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business J, Building and Fire Code text amendments. Board to consider ordinance amending various sections of Chapter 18 and Chapter 42 of the Westmont Municipal Code related to fire safety requirements. Director Berkowitz.
I've spoke to you numerous times regarding the text amendments that the building department and myself would come up with to kind of make things a little more equitable for economic development coming into the village and still regards to safety for the firefighters and the public. We feel what we put together is a nice package, and it combines the two as a nice balance of it. Does anybody have any further questions regarding our previous discussions?
No, appreciate all the work you've done. I need a motion to approve those text amendments.
Motion, Scales.
Second, Little?
Motion been made in second. Any comments, questions? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. Miscellaneous. Does anybody have? And I'm sorry, did you want to address the board at all? No, okay. I just want to give you an opportunity if you did. You're welcome. Seeing none, there's no executive session tonight, so I do need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion made and second to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone, and this meeting is adjourned.